Hello, viewers. Welcome to another wonderful episode on your favorite talk show, on Serenity TV. My name is Gloria, and today we have a wonderful guest in our midst that will be going on this journey with this, discussing this very, very important topic. In person of,
Onyekachi Bishop is my name.
you're welcome, sir. I can
Thank
see you're very excited to be on our program today.
Very excited
And
and
the topic, okay, and the topic is actually very interesting. So today's topic we will be discussing before you say I do, what couples should know. Before you say I do, what couples should know. This is a very, very interesting topic that actually we all should discuss. It's something we have to discuss. So today we together, Mr. Nekashi and I will be unpacking the essential of this whole topic. Things couples should know or things couples should discuss before we say I do. So, Mr. Onyekachi, before we move further, in your experience, what do you think is the biggest lie couples believe about love before, or intending couples rather, believe about love before marriage?
wow. Thank you very much again for
You're
having me
welcome.
here. Now, say the biggest lie, the belief about love.
Yes, before marriage.
Wow. It- for me, the 2 years I've been in marriage, what I think the couples believe as a big lie about love, they think that love is the only thing that you need in marriage. But love is not enough. Love is the bond that keeps the marriage. But in that, you still need some other things to make the marriage love, to make the marriage work, love inclusive.
All right, thank you very much. So, a lot of, like the topic says, before you say I do, what couples should know. Now, there's a lot of things people think, or intending couples rather, they think is actually not important to talk about. So today we'll be diving into those aspects to discuss these little things that they think is actually not important to talk about before you say I do. Now, what really matters before you say I do, there's a lot of things that you need to consider. What exactly matters before I go into this thing? What matters? What value should couples prioritize before marriage?
All right. Not to digress, but if you read, I'm a Christian, so most of the things I should actually be talking from that aspect because it is helping me a lot. Now, in Genesis, verse chapter 1, from verse 27, 26, 27, 28. He said, and God said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. And in verse 27, he said, he made them, male and female, created he him. And he said, be fruitful and multiply. Now, in chapter 2, you see how God made man and made woman. Now, we should know that coming into marriage, no one is more than the other because both he created them in his image and his likeness. So, if male and female is created in the image of likeness of God, then we are two equals of God kind coming together to carry out the mandate of God. Now, that is it. So, I'm looking at this thing from two aspects. Your couples that want to go into marriage, or maybe intended couples that want to go into marriage, so consider the journey from the two aspects. The God aspect, God centered aspect. What does God say about marriage? Put it in view, and then look at the practical effect that you have from the society of the world today and put them in view. If you can settle that and have a clarity, spelled out steps, or what you think should be, or what you think should not be in your journey coming together, I think that is going to help a lot.
All right, thank you very much. But you must agree with me that in today's courtship or relationship, there's a lot of couples don't talk about these things, like you said.
Mm.
They don't actually talk about it. They don't talk about the future. Like, what is it going to be like? How is it going to be like? Do you believe in this or do you believe in that? All they think about is now, forgetting the fact that, okay, we are going to be living together as man and wife in the same house. So, moving on, let's talk about, in a relationship, there are things that happen that you shouldn't ignore That you have to talk them out or actually work towards them and see if they work out. So let's talk about the red flags they ignore or almost ignore during relationship. We have habits and all that. Let's talk about those things that you think they ignore. Like they think it doesn't matter. It's just a little thing. But
Yeah.
actually it's not a little thing. So let's talk about that. The red flags they ignore or almost
Wow.
ignore in courtship.
Wow. I will use myself as an example. Okay, by the grace of God, I've progressed. As a married person, I've progressed. Now, one of the things that intended couples do not take it as significant, but okay, like the man will always think that the lady will change when they get into marriage. And the lady will always think that the man will not change. Like today, he'll be calling you every now and then, checking up on you, taking you out over the weekend, spending 1 or 2 cards. Okay, you feel, oh, life is going to be like that. But when they get into the marriage, the man changes. 90% of the men changes about their spending. Because now they are calculating. Not as before now, they say, okay, we'll calculate for bills and all that. Children is going to come in and all that. And if they had discussed all this in the very first place, uh, the lady wouldn't be new in the changes that is coming. It's just because of right now there are no baggages coming, there are no responsibilities coming. But marriage is a responsibility. But in courtship, you don't see the responsibility because you can go on Friday and come back on Monday.
Exactly.
But in marriage, you are there from Genesis to Revelation, from January to December. So that is what I think ladies will, as in couples, not even only the man, couples start to take cognizance of. All right, let me use one example. If intended couples are going out and you discover that the lady discovers that the man drinks a lot, but because he spends on her,
She tends to ignore that part.
she tends to ignore that part. He tends to control himself, drinking socially and all that. Then okay, he will change when he gets. He will know that he's not the father of the house, and maybe will cut down on that. But just get into the marriage, and you said rather for him to even change the part, he increases on that. Now the lady said, no, but I don't think it's going to work out like that. Now the man will, okay, during courtship, the lady comes with her friends and they hang out, they do all the jollification and all that. The man doesn't care about that. When they get into the marriage, when she wants to go out again with the friends again, the man will say, no, you're not going to go with the friends again. These are the things that people should look into.
And then she'll be like, but you never said anything about
But you never said anything about it. I used to go out with my friends, and now you're complaining about them. But these are the things that should be pointed out in the first place. They are silent, but they are the things that is going to make relationship in marriage between man and woman start drifting, not knowing. These are the things I know. I've seen. Now, apart from that, okay, in courtship, you would have maybe stayed with the man long enough that he knows that he snores. Or maybe he's too official that whenever he sees you, he doesn't pick on his nose. Or maybe he doesn't eat with he eats with his mouth open, like talking while eating. And maybe a lady that is maybe coming from a background that is so well classy, the man must have wooed her by the way he talks, his carriage. But all those ones are silent there. You saw it and you say, okay, you change and tell that when I tell. But when you tell the man, when you guys get into the marriage, it becomes like you're rubbing on his ego.
Yeah, this is exactly how I've always been. And the man will go like, this is how I've always been.
Yeah.
You never said anything when we were cutting and all that.
He said, how do you want me to change right now? And you say, changing an adult is quite difficult and all that. So these are the silent things that we should take. Another thing is about coming to the spiritual aspect. I'm a Christian. There are some ladies that were like, okay, he will understand. I am not that church type. Where it's like, or maybe the man was saying, I'm not that church, I don't mind any church of God and all that. Just only for them to come, you're not going to go to the church again. Or you're not going to go to the church again. I don't like, because there should be an alignment first, spiritually. Then coming together on your core values, societal core values. There should be an alignment. You have to talk about it, streamline it, have a clear vision of it, saying, okay, this is what he likes, this is what he does not like. Uh, this is his view about it. Don't forget about it. Hold it. I can remember one of the men told me, say, marry in the Lord. Now I'm a Christian, that this thing is about Christianity and the Holy Spirit. He tends to tell me that, and I know it has helped me a lot, even in my love life as a married man. I always pray, Holy Spirit, help me to love my wife. You think that you love, you know how to love. Love languages are even another thing.
Yeah. Okay, quickly, let's talk about compatibility and chemistry
Okay,
in relationship.
all right.
Let's talk about, because these two things are things most couples don't really get. The compatibility. Are we compatible in this aspect or in that aspect? Is the chemistry, because some people feel that chemistry enough, like, okay, there's this chemistry, there's this attraction between both of us, and it's all that is all it is about relationship. Let's talk about compatibility and chemistry. How are young people supposed to talk, or intending couples supposed to talk about this in a relationship before marriage?
All right. Your compatibility, I think the compatibility should not be based on things that are physical. Because if it is things that are physical, it's going to fade away. Like physical look, with time, it fades away. But we should look about compatibility in things that are not physical, intangible things that are going to last with time. Like that, your standard about life should be one of the things that should bring you guys together. Should bring you guys together. About future should bring you guys together. It's not about now, because you say, oh, she's so fine, oh, he's so beautiful. And what if entering into the marriage, there's an accident and the man becomes crippled? Now he loses his height, he loses that fragrance that he gives you, because it's now a little bit withdrawn because of his physical impediment. And maybe the lady coming in looking so nice, and the next 5 years he's looking so plumpy because of children are setting, and now you're not looking. She doesn't look like what I used to know her before. It should come out from there. It should come out from there. Let it be inward, morals, capacities, the things up here. You should be the basis for